Where the athletes at? Where the athletes at? I'm looking for the athletes. Come here.
Today I'm going to talk to you about a mindset shift as it relates to practice. Something I wish I would have known in high school and college and being a student athlete. And the first thing you need to know about this mindset shift is practice is for you and you alone. I know a lot of people like to gas themselves up, taking pictures on Instagram or putting things on YouTube as they're dripping in sweat saying, and in the caption they say, all I do is train hard and all these things. And that's nice and that's cool, but that's not going to get you playing time and that's not going to get you a scholarship. Any coach that tells you that you're going to get playing time just off practice, what that coach is really saying is, please practice hard. Please practice hard. Okay? Because at the end of the day, whether you practice and do well in practice or not, when it comes to game time, coach wants to put someone in there that's going to execute. Period. That's all that person wants to put in there, is a person who's going to execute. We just got to be honest. Be honest. You know some people that are just practice players. They're good at dribbling around cones. They're good at following orders in practice. But when they get in front of people, these people, when they get tired, that muscle fatigue gets in, that lactic acid starts building up, them jokers will forget their own name out there. So you mean tell me that they should just stay out there just because they practice well? Come on, man. Practice is for you and you alone. It's for building your self-confidence. It's for building familiarity with whatever plays you're doing. It's for getting muscle memory so it's a reflex when you're out there playing and you don't have to think about it. That's what practice is for. It's not for scholarships and it's not for playing time. It's for you. And today I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that.
Hoop loud, you.
Yes, indeed. Big Brother Bear here to give you all that you want and what you need. And listen, I put up content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday giving you information about being a student athlete both in and outside of your sport, helping you thrive in the best way possible, making your family proud, making you proud, and making you more efficient going through that process. So this video is actually my second video I put up about practice. The first one I took down. It's the first video I've ever taken down because I wanted to hit it just right. I wanted to make sure that I gave you the right information. And I feel like that first video I put up about practice wasn't the very best I can do. This video is all started because of my time in Chicago. I used to do some volunteer coaching at Von Steuben High School right there in Albany Park, Chicago. And it was under Coach Carter. Now, Coach Carter used to come and tell me different stories about the things he had to deal with as a coach, kind of to test me to see if I really wanted to be a part of coaching. And he came to me with one story in particular, and he said, he told me the story about this mom that was angry. She was angry because her son was not getting any playing time, which is normal. A lot of parents feel that way. But she took it a step further because she said, Coach Carter, I went to the warm-ups before the game, and my son hit all his layups, all his free throws, all his three-point shots, so you explain to me why he's not getting any playing time. Coach Carter looks at me and asks me how I would answer that. How would I respond to that? With a sheepish look on my face, I kind of laughed. I was like, I'm thinking that he's joking, that surely you don't get any complaints like that. Surely. But straight face, he looks back at me, he's like, yeah, this is normal. How are you going to deal with that? And at that time, I just thought it was silly that anybody would try to connect what you do in practice with games. I didn't understand. I was like, that mom, like, I don't know what's wrong with her. But when the day passed and I got to thinking about it, I said, you know what? I used to think like that. When I was in college, I used to think because I didn't smoke, because I didn't drink, that somehow that I was going to be the best player on the team just because I didn't do those things and I practiced hard in practice. And when I realized that wasn't the case, I was dumbfounded. I give you another story. When I was in college in Utah, if you know anything about the Mountain West region, that means Idaho, Montana, Utah, Colorado. Those are the states that just come to mind off the bat. That area is 99.9% Latter-day Saints. All right. If you don't know about Latter-day Saints, it's a faith that it's really predominant in that area. How it goes is when you're in high school, if you're a male, once you graduate, a lot of Latter-day Saints, they go on a 2-year mission where they go to different places around the world and whatnot. I'll tell you this story because when I was in junior college in Utah, College of Eastern Utah, it's called Utah State Eastern right now, in Price, Utah, I redshirted my first year, which meant that I got to practice with the team, I got to do the plays and all that stuff with the team, I trained with the team, but I did not play on the basketball team. It didn't count against my eligibility. So my second year will be my redshirt freshman year, and this is the year that I get to play. Well, my coach at the time brings in some individuals that had been out not playing basketball because they were on their LDS mission for 2 years. I bring this up because these individuals started over me consistently. Now let's process what just happened. You mean tell me I got to this school before you, redshirted, bust my behind in practice, right? Come my second year is your first year, and you haven't touched the ball for 2 years, and you're starting over me consistently? Yes, I get to start every once in a while, but consistently, you start over me? What is that saying? I must be a trash player if that's the case. I must be a trash player. But what that reminds me of is practice alone won't get you playing time. It will not get you a scholarship. And now that I have time to look back over it, those guys should have started over me. Because you know what? Even though I practiced harder than them, even though I had a year jump start over those individuals, they had something that I didn't have. And that is, they played basketball when I was just thinking basketball. Every coach that I played for have told me that. They said, Bill, looks like you're out there solving calculus problems. Just play, just hoop, just go out there and play. And for whatever reason, I overthought the game so much that it was kind of like analysis by paralysis, and I messed myself up. But if we're just judging our practice, I should have started before them. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I know how it feels to practice, and not get what you think you're gonna get. Don't get the playing time. Don't get the scholarship. Don't get this. Don't get that. And what happens is, after a while, you build up a resentment. You start feeling like the game owes you something. You start feeling like your time could be better served somewhere else. And when you do that, when you start getting resentful, when you start to feel entitled, you start closing up. And when you start closing up, you don't get to grow anymore. Because now you have a rhyme or reason. You have an out, in a sense. So when a coach is not playing you, and you know you're putting in time, and you're resentful, and you've closed up, now you have a rhyme or reason to pout on the end of the bench and be like, man, I ain't worried about what he's saying right now. I practice more than this guy. This guy is this and this and this, and I stay in the gym. And what I'm telling you is that only hurts you, because now other coaches, if you're in high school trying to get to college coaches get to see that piss poor attitude. Or if you're in college and you're trying to transfer because you're a junior in college trying to go to a 4-year school, or if you're at a 4-year school and you're still trying to put yourself in a situation that you want to transfer, other coaches get to see that as well. So you only hurt yourself and you don't get to grow, because now you have a rhyme or reason to say, well, I'm not where I'm supposed to be because this person or that person. Instead of looking yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what, maybe I need to change something as far as my mindset of how I approach practice. I've been that person that's been entitled. I've been that person that felt like the game owed me something, and that gets you nowhere. Now, why don't people practice hard? I think people don't practice hard and put everything into it because it's a risk. And I've been there before. You know, when I started this company in 2015, I remember saving up money so I can get this giraffe that y'all see on TikTok. I remember people thinking that I was crazy in that process, because it came a point where I didn't have a car. I had no vehicle. I was riding my bike around town to go to Walmart and all these other things to go get groceries. But there in my mind, I was saving money. And I didn't get this doggone giraffe off the dollar menu, mind you. It took it took a lot of money, okay? But it got to a point where it was like, Bell, do you pay for a car or do you get this giraffe? And I told myself, I'm about to get this giraffe. I said, why, Bell? Why would you get the giraffe? Because I know I can rent a car far quicker than I can rent a doggone giraffe. And I know I want this giraffe, right? But that's a risk. Some people, it may not work. It may flop, but it's a risk. So some people may say, well, Bell, why even try? And that's something you may be asking. Why even try to take all these classes in college to be a doctor if I can just flunk out? Why even try of trying to be a pediatrician or a lawyer or a physical therapist or broadcast journalism major if I can fail? Like, why? Isn't it safer just not to do anything at all? And for that, I say this. It is safer. It is safer if you don't do anything at all. But it's also 100% that if you do that, you won't make it to your goal. So why practice and bust your behind and do it anyway? It's because it's the only way The only way that you'll find out for sure if you can reach that goal. Because even if you don't reach the goal, here's the thing, even if, if it doesn't work, hoopla is a bust, it doesn't help any student athletes, at the end of the day, I can go to sleep at night and say, hey, I did my all. I did my best. I did my very best. I'm not beholden to whatever metric that everyone says is successful or not. Sure, I want more subscribers. Sure, I want to do all that other stuff. But I can say I did my very best. Can you say that with your goals? Can you say that about that degree that you want to go after? Can you say that about going to the league? Right? Can you say that? You say you want to go to the league, you say you want to play overseas. At the end of the day, will you be able to say, man, I gave it my all. I gave it my all. Regardless if I had playing time or not. If you're not able to say that, you have the privilege of living the rest of your life afterwards knowing that there are people that have achieved that goal, and you have the rest of your life to think that, man, I could have done that. But I didn't go all in. I didn't try. That's the reason. And when you have that mindset shift of practice, you will get a lot better.